Hello everyone. So I got to see the movie Mr. Holmes about a day ago, and I'm very happy to. I'm really excited to give you my thoughts on this movie. And essentially, in this movie, Sherlock Holmes played for the first time ever Ian McKellen, the great Ian McKellen. And basically, in this movie, he's long past retired, and he's very much near the end of his life. And basically, he takes up an interest with this young kid. Well, the story's kind of weird like this. It's basically, he's near the end of his life. He grapples with an unbelievable memory, and he must rely on his housekeeper's son essentially to, as he pretty much revisits the still unsolved case that's led to his retirement. He needs to figure out why he was sent to retire from this one person, and how you get to see him in a relationship with this little kid, with the person, with so many other people he was ran through his life. The person who played John Watson is very much an unknown, and the little kid is very much unknown actors, but like the number one big actor in this movie is Ian McKellen, and he really shines in this role. This is definitely the best old person performance. This is like the best old person performance Sherlock Holmes probably since the 80s version, which is, god damn, I forgot his name. Jeremy Brent? Oh, who the hell knows? But what I do really like about this movie is, number one, the acting. I think the acting is wildly spectacular, and I really, really loved it a lot. I loved how Ian McKellen just, he's so known for franchises now, like Magneto in X-Men and Gandalf in the Middle Earth movies. Like, he's so typecast. He's not really typecasted, but you know him mostly for those roles. And most movies that you know him outside those two big franchises aren't really that big, except maybe Henry VIII, I believe it is. I think it is Henry VIII, which is an 80s English movie. And he really shines in this role a lot. I love the formula. I love how this movie kind of goes along with a sense of not being omniscient, but it's very much a man who's very much sitting down with the people currently around his life. And he's very much like, let me tell you about a story of the past of my life. And I just love listening to that. It's like, this isn't today's Sherlock Holmes. This isn't the Robert Downey Jr. This isn't the more grisly, very, very visceral feel of Robert Downey Jr.'s one. Or this isn't the more polished type of Benedict Cumberbatch type of feel for it. This is very much, this is like Ian McKellen's very own Sherlock Holmes, and he gets to play him whatever kind of way he wants, and it's very much like a big treat for him. And he really is fantastic in this role. He really, really is. I love that. I love the story. I love the premise. The weird thing about this is that this movie is getting more critically acclaimed than the other two Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., which is weird, because as much as I really enjoy this movie, I don't like it as nearly as much as the other two, which is weird. I don't know why, but I really love the Robert Downey Jr. I may be alone on that, but whatever. But I really personally just really love the Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock Holmes movies. Heck, I've actually reviewed them on my channel back last year, and I'm really, really proud of where I sent those videos, and I still stand by those reviews. And I just really enjoy a lot of this movie. But for me, what really kind of lacks in this movie, in my opinion, is very much the reminiscence of the more notable things of Sherlock Holmes, the more well-known things, like the Hound of Baskervilles, or Moriarty, or all these very, very iconic, very, very famous tales and people he's gone up against in his own type of lore, which for me is kind of a bit of a, no. It seems like it plays it a bit too omnipresent of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's original thoughts on the character, or original intake on the character. This is very much the older person's Sherlock Holmes, and I think that's very interesting. This is very much your grandfather's Sherlock Holmes, if anything, which is weird because I love all versions of the Sherlock Holmes. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. He's one of my biggest heroes of all time, so of course I'll be very excited for this. And there's a sense that this one just, to me, it doesn't have enough bulk. I wouldn't say it doesn't have anything that really gets me like, oh yeah, I'm really on that. I'm really rooting for this type of chemistry or something, or this action. Or to me, it's very much like it's like the equivalent of watching a tale being told by your grandparents. And while it is interesting, you're just kind of like, it's past present, so why the heck should I care? But then again, you are fairly investigated in this movie, and the way it's shot with a level of intimacy and cleverness within its own writing, especially where it shoots it in the UK and Ireland, Scotland. It's very, very, very well done. It really, to me at least, it really captures the English normal life and day-to-day status, which I have kind of experienced, which even though I haven't grown up in London or England, I've been there a fair bit of times, so I would know definitely the feel of a normal home feel of it, and they really do capture it very well. And they capture the relevance of the, I would say, like, it's not modern, but it's very much like updated in a way. It's very hard to describe, in my opinion, but it's very omnivorous feeling for it, and I really like that for the film. It's very, very, very clever for that certain direction it goes in. But for me, what really does lack in this film, in my opinion, is the bulk, is the sense of a thrill, and because he's just, even when he goes to the flashbacks, they say he's relatively in his 50s or 60s. I want to see some of the more, some more modern Sherlock Holmes. I'm just so damn hooked by the Robert Downey Jr. one so much that I really do love those. The feel that Guy Ritchie has really brought to the feel of these movies. And, man, it's kind of missing in my opinion, and there's not much to really go off on in this movie. Like, this is not meant, movie of Sherlock, or Mr. Holmes isn't like the type of movies like teenagers or people in their 20s or like that. This is essentially the type of movie that people in their 40s and up would see, and this is probably not my normal type of movie. The movie people who made this wouldn't have targeted me or someone who's around my age of 21 to really see this. It's like this is a Sherlock Holmes that's much more for the older people. There you go, enjoy it. And I do actually will say, if you're a hardcore Sherlock Holmes fan, like me, then I will say, put this up. There we go. But yeah, I thought this movie was very good. I really enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed the way it was shot. I really liked the dialogue. I really liked a lot of it. I loved the performances. I loved the storytelling aspect. However, I personally felt like it really did feel like it needed a bit more bulk to it. It needed to have that real sense of thrill or rush that the other, thanks to the very popular TV show Sherlock, or Content was the other one with Lucy Liu. This is very much not the modern Sherlock Holmes that you would expect to see. But as it stands, I do really enjoy it. It's just not my favorite of the movies. But nevertheless, Mr. Holmes is a very great ride of great detective fun that I really would suggest for anyone out there if you're either I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, or if you're more than 35 years old then you would enjoy a bit more of a slower paced movie. And that for me really does kill it. It's like this is a Sherlock Holmes movie where I will get very personal, and it's like I don't feel like it really captures the essence of a thrill or a rush that I get with more modern Sherlock Holmes, like Sherlock and Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: The Game of Shadows. Like of those three, like of this, the BBC Benedict Cumberbatch version and the two Robert Downey Jr. versions. This is probably my least favorite of them, but then I would say this is the most. It may not be my favorite performance of Sherlock Holmes, but this is definitely a very compelling performance. I will say it's an overall phenomenal performance, and he really plays it in a very omniscient of Peter Cushing's way of performance of him. And in the end, I really enjoyed Mr. Holmes, and I will give Mr. Holmes I'm going to give it an 80%. I really enjoyed it a lot. Oh, crap. Sorry, I just had dinner. But in the end, I really enjoyed Mr. Holmes, and hopefully if you guys see it or not, I hope you really enjoy it too, because in the end, I'm going to definitely say this movie is truly worth it. Even though you will be like, for me at least, this is a very personal film. And there's certain things that this film did right and wrong. In the end, that's my thoughts on Sherlock, everyone. On Mr. Holmes, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed my review of it. Until next time, when I will see you within my next movie review, which will be later this week, hopefully. Till then, everyone, I am out. Bye.